I've got your plan open in X12. First thing I'm going to do is turn off the reference grid and the snap grid. I'm going to take this slab and just move it out of the way for now. And you can see that we've got a problem with this corner and a problem with this corner. And we'll take a overview to see what those look like. And I'm going to switch into vector. Just so we can see things a little better. And I'm going to turn off patterns. Okay, so we've got a gap down here. We got gap here, we got gap here, and it looks like we've got a gap down here. So I'm going to just drag this back. And you can see when I did that, that fixed those gaps. That fixed that, and it fixed that. Still have a gap over here. So I'm going to select a room divider. Just, it's not important where I draw it, just stick it in there. And then draw a line, another room divider right there. Select that one. I'm going to make this 1/32. No special. That's not a magic number. That's just, I just want it to be close. And I'm going to bring this down here. And you'll notice that that looks like that stayed okay. Let's check over here. Yep, that corner stayed okay. We have a post down here we don't need, a newel we don't need. And if I can select this wall, we should have, Chief gave us the start in post. That's new for X11, I think. But it doesn't work like you think it would. You would think that's either a start or an end post, and I could just come in here and do something to remove it, but you can't. So what you need to do is go over here to newels and balusters, and I'm going to set the width of the post to 0. Say OK, and that gets rid of that post. Now that's just assuming that you don't want a post here in the middle or on this end. Maybe you do. That'll be another problem. So our connections up here still look good. I'm going to do the same basic thing down here on this rail. I'm going to come down here, drag this back, room divider here, room divider across here. Connect that. Let's see if I can select that and make that 1/32. And that doesn't look right. Nope. I'm going to undo. Let's see if I can do this. Just put a line here. That looks better. Now, of course, these room divider walls, you can stick those on their own layer and then turn them off if you don't want to see them. Now the problem over here is we've got this extra post on the end, but there's no easy way to get rid of that. Again, you would think that you could come in here and start an end post. You could, you know, that's the way we're looking at this rail, and there's no post shown on the end, but there's one gets drawn there, so that's kind of a problem because there's no simple way of getting rid of it. So what I did is, this will answer one of your questions. I came in here and made this spacing, you know, I'm just going to put 500. And that gets rid of all these intermediate posts. I'm going to make the width 0. And that gets rid of all the posts, including this one down here on the end. And so on the plan I posted, I made my own post. There's that CAD line I drew. I'm going to draw another one down here. And then I'm going to draw one between them. And I'm going to take these 3 posts, and I'm going to use this distribute along line tool, space evenly, and distribute between endpoints. And then while those are still selected, I'm going to center them on this wall. I did that differently on yours, I think, because I wound up with a post down here. I think there's needs to be just 2 in here. Now it's not perfect. If you paint this stuff, it looks okay in standard view, but it doesn't look so good in vector or technical illustrations because you can see these lines in here. Probably an easier way to fix all this I might try to rethink how this part over here is done. You know, try to get this wall, and this wall just the way they need to be, and then add these 3 walls over here. It's just a lot of fiddling. Like I said in the beginning, there's no magic number of steps that you go through to fix this stuff. You just have to fiddle with it. Chief doesn't They don't tell you how things work internally. You know, there's no book or documentation that says when walls are in this configuration, this is what's going to happen. And I think that's partly because there's a bazillion different configurations. They'd have a hard time coming up with something to tell you. But anyway, give this a look, and maybe this will help you develop your own troubleshooting skills.